Kuro has cooked yet again. This update has to be up there with the likes of 2.2 and 2.0. And honestly, it has the potential to be even higher with the upcoming events and the second phase story as well. But without any further ado, let's get into the meat and bones of this update. So first off, we have the characters. The two main characters in this update are Kartathea and Lupa. Now, in the story, she's actually kind of put on the back burner a bit. She's not the main focus, at least in the first part, because technically we've already had her story and that was 2.2. But that does not mean that her writing has been relegated to anything lower than what it was before. Kartathea is still the Kartathea that we knew from 2.2. Now for gameplay wise and her kit, she's honestly not too overpowered, especially for a Sentinel Resonator and the fact that they made her HP multipliers quite high to compensate for the fact that she has little synergies. I did of course make a video voicing my concerns about Kartathea's sort of lack of synergies, but it turns out that she does actually have a few. She can actually run with Sanhua just because a lot of her attacks actually count as basic attack damage. So, phew, thankfully she has at least some synergies, and props to Kuro really, because they definitely sort of saw what would have happened if they didn't input these sort of synergies in, so I'm actually glad that they did that. It's good to know that Kuro actually care about power creep in this game. But yeah, Kartathea overall, they've done good by her this update. Now, onto Lupa. Brand new character introduced in this update. You meet her about maybe 15 minutes into the story, if you're quick. I have to say, a lot of people were slandering her design online when she first got drip marketed and even leaked. And I just want to say that, where are you guys now? Personally, I think her design is really good, because even though she's an agile wolf, she's still got that sort of gladiator vibe. And her weapon, that polearm, is absolutely sick. I really love it. But on top of that, of course, since she's a new character, how is she written? I think she's actually really well written. You have a lot of sort of character opening scenes, like scenes that make you view her character some more. So she's not just a one-dimensional waifu, which a lot of people did complain about back in the day, back in Wuwa's heyday. So once again, Kuro Games is listening. Devs listened. On top of being well written, she has a great VA. The VA does a fantastic job with her character, so props to the voice direction team and the VA for making her character come to life, really. And they've done that well with her character that originally I was not going to pull her, but now I'm on the fence because of how good she actually is. But of course, it wouldn't be an MSQ flagship update without a map update. And we got a brand new area called Septimont in this update. And once again, Kuro Games did not miss one bullet. They hit every shot out of the park with this map, I have to say. It feels so good. This is Wuthering Waves at its very best. When they managed to make a new map with MSQ, this is Wuthering Waves at peak. Septimont is just overall beautiful. The biomes are varying, each bringing in their own vibe to the region. And once again, Kuro have done a very good job in making sure that you feel immersed just a few minutes into the exploration. And I actually think part of that is due to the fact that I don't know what they've done with the vegetation, but the grass and the plants feel just so much more alive than any other map. Correct me if I'm like talking out my ass here, but I swear they've done something different with the flowers. The vegetation just feels so much more alive and it feels just so good. I can also appreciate the fact that they actually have some similarities with Renacita in the architecture. However, since it is technically a different region, it actually does differ. It's like when you compare Venice to Florence in Italy. Both are in Italy, but both just have noticeable differences in architecture. And I have to say, the graphics in this update were absolutely amazing. About 20 minutes into the main quest, you go through this sort of cave area and you open up into like this Septimontian expanse and you see the Capitoline Hill city and the sun's behind it. Oh, it just looks absolutely amazing, man. Honestly, what are they doing? Oh, and the map has superb music as well, by the way. And also something else that I can actually appreciate is that if you were to pull Kartathea right off the rip, like as soon as you got into the game, you actually can't access her local specialties, her flowers that you need to upgrade her. But thankfully, within 5 minutes of playing the main story quest, you can actually enter Septimont. So I'm actually happy that Kuro is aware that, hey, you know, we are in a rush to get these materials, so they allow us to get them quite quickly. But speaking of the quest, how is the story? So the story is set up in two parts. The second part will be released in phase 2. But for a first part, It's good. It's good at setting like a lot of things up, and it does leave you wanting more without leaving you feel empty. Because I know some stories sort of falter in that, where if you release them in 2 parts, it might feel abrupt and then you just sat there like, wait, that's it. So it's good to see that Kuro is in fact balancing their stories well. The story does contain about 3-ish plot lines, and they're all juggled well, I'd say. You cut back and forth quite a bit, and I think they are juggled well. There's not much exposition either, which 2.2 suffered from a bit because there was a bit of explaining to do. But I feel like in this story, they did a lot of show and not tell. Granted, Cantarella within 2 minutes tells you about Septimont and all that stuff, but that's just basic exposition. Not really bloated either. So yeah, they've done that well. Story took me around 2.5 hours, so the pacing's good as well. And of course, if part 2 is around the same, then that would mean the story would be about 5 hours. So since they've cut it down the middle and still managed to make it feel like okay that you've left the story at that point, then they've done really well. And I think the storytelling is good again. We've got lots of expressions on characters. We've got a few cutscenes. It's honestly been very good. And I have to give my hats off to all the voice actors in this story. They have done an absolutely brilliant job. I was questioning Buling's voice actor at first. She was a bit weird, but I think they've tried to make her have like a heavy Chinese accent because she is from a place called Mengzhou that we've not been to. But yeah, I feel like it's inoffensive at worst. Now, a few other tidbits I want to touch on. The exploration, like as a whole, just feels really refreshing. I should have put this in the map section really, but I just want to add it on top because the exploration as a whole just feels really good. Lots of things are like dotted around the map rather than being in noted areas. Like I feel like we have a lot more chests dotted around the map rather than just in the sort of chest areas that we now get. Another thing I wanted to point out was the introduction of these gladiator enemies. Now these guys are just quality of life embodiments because the things that they drop are actually really useful. Human enemies that we don't see much, and they drop these sort of packs, like resource packs, which contain like level up materials, skill upgrade materials, and echoes of the respective gladiator type. So there's a gladiator type for each element in the game. And that actually makes me think, would it be worth saving these boxes? Because, you know, if you get a new Echo set, for example, will it be included in those boxes? Might be worth saving them. Kuro have also decided to do some Assassin's Creed references throughout the map. I won't show them here, so you can go do them yourselves, because if I show them, then it kind of ruins it. But yeah, a few Assassin's Creed sort of set pieces, I'd call them, where you go up onto a high point and you jump down into a bush. You dive down into a bush. And just another thing on the map, it just felt very alive. Due to all the vegetation and the animals and stuff, it all just felt very alive. So it's the perfect package Kuro could give to us after 2.3 especially. Now again, the only thing that I think they could do better is just give us more team presets, man. Just give us more of those, because with the amount of characters that are coming into the game, I'm lacking in preset options now. And if they want to go a bit further, then make it sort of 3D. Kind of like Star Rail or Genshin, for example. That'd be great. But yeah, I think that's all. So let me know what you guys think of the update in the comments. And I think I'll probably give this update a solid, I'd say 8.9 out of 10. Just so far. Just the introduction anyways. If it follows through with how I think it will, then it will easily be one of the best, or not, if not the best, update that Kuro has ever put out for this game. Anyways, that's all, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.